This is the Night Owls Disc Golf Podcast. I'm Shane.
And I'm JP.
And it's Worlds Week.
Worlds.
I'm excited. You hit it. That was good. The falsetto and man. All right. So here we go.
If you say so.
I don't know what falsetto means. I just said it because
When you get like your high octave and like you use your, I talk like this, like you're hitting puberty kind of voice.
Oh, really?
I think so. It's like, yeah, when you're trying to get octaves above and.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, the more you know. And that's our show,
want
folks.
to, yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Maybe I can come up with another zinger for the.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we have a mulligan to go over.
Yeah.
Real quick, let's get this.
Yep.
FAF. I feel like an idiot.
Yeah, right.
That's not what it stands for. It stands for flat as Farfanugan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was surprised by that.
Yeah.
I've never heard, I don't think I've heard that.
I've heard it 1,000 times, but for some reason it just did not come to me.
And as soon as printed it out.
Yeah. You know who it was? Mike Harrington was like, hey, FAF, flat as. And I was like, oh.
Oh, because Austin sent me something, and Mike both sent me, Mike DiMatteo, they both were like, yeah, if that's what it means. And then Austin said, judges suck.
Oh.
And he likes Prodigy, or Gateway Plus. Was it Gateway?
No, it was Prodigy. He was a PA 3s, I think.
No, he threw a lot of...
Yeah, he was you're talking the Legacy Classic.
Legacy,
He throws
yeah.
Legacy.
He just liked the feel. He likes the feel of Legacy. So he sent that message to me as well.
But you say that, Austin, and calling you out here, you putt with PA 3s. So Nana Boo Boo, stick your head in poo poo. Judges are better.
He has some other discs that are not.
Well,
Legacy.
yeah, he has the Prowler, the Recco, and then the Harp.
Yeah.
So you only have one Legacy disc as a putter. So once again, Nana Boo Boo.
But everything else he has, it was pretty much Legacy.
Yeah, it was pretty much Legacy, yeah.
Anyway.
And he'll be happy because Legacy is in. So we got it. Everything's paid for. The check was in the mail. No, everything's all paid for. Everything's good. Discs are in hand, I believe. They were scheduled to be delivered today. And
You'd like to think so.
yeah. And if not, they'll be there tomorrow or Friday. Who knows?
Right.
Our postage is so goofy. Like the Aces Fly dies, like the dyed discs we brought in.
Oh, yeah.
They were here, but we couldn't get them because for some reason they just dropped them off at the post office. So
I don't know. UPS does weird. Speaking like working in the postal service, they will just drop stuff off at the post office without letting anybody know that it's being dropped off at the post office, and then all of a sudden it's like for pickup next day. Usually, what happens, and we'll get calls from people. They're like, "Hey, it says my package has been delivered," and blah blah blah. I'm like, "No, it's sitting here at the post office for us to drop." But they're like, "Well, why aren't they just delivering it at our house?" And we're like, hell if we know. We don't get a manifest.
UPS.
Right, UPS, not US. And we're like, they don't give us a manifest of what's coming in. It's called like last mile. And they're supposed to know whether people have mail delivery like out on the route or if they're supposed to drop it off at wherever.
Yeah.
And so
normally it's all fine and dandy. It's no issues whatsoever. So I don't know. It was just weird. So it sat in a post office and we finally got it. And the same thing with Legacy. Like we get shipment notifications. It says it'll be here this day. And then like 3 days later or like 2 days earlier, you know, it's like, who knows?
Sure.
So I don't hold my breath. I roll with it. But Legacy should be here. We should be getting it on the, Jeepers Creepers. You all right?
Yeah.
We should be getting it on the site here real soon. So, and speaking of, if you like what you hear, you like what we're doing, even if you don't, doordisc.com is the website. You can door_disc_golf is our Instagram page, and then night_owls_pod is the podcast Instagram page. And then we have a YouTube, Door Disc Golf. And the game is about to be stepped up. I noticed you eyed up the box here.
Yeah, what's up with that?
That's a camera.
That's a camera.
And camera stuff. See? There's camera stuff. So we
Yeah.
got a Rebel. So we're going to start DSLR.
Yeah.
We're going to see what we can do with it.
Okay.
And we got lapel mics.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Because that Pinecrest round was so fun to watch.
Yeah.
Not to listen to, but to watch.
If you want to, you could probably do your own commentary, just like Mystery Science
3000.
Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
That would be a great idea, actually. I think that'd be fun. I want to do that over Worlds.
Yeah.
just like for no reason.
I'm
just talking
excited
absolute
for
crap.
the
Live.
Joe Mez live. Yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
I think it's gonna be great. So yeah, so go out there, like, support, do your thing. Just keep in mind, we are community focused. And this is not just we don't talk up door disc golf very often. We just kind of talk crap for the most part. But we really are community minded. I mean, we push everything to, just furthering the sport, and furthering our community and even furthering other communities. But we always try to focus on building the community first. Of course, we have a shop to run. We have employees to pay, things like that. But outside of that, it really is disc golf focused. We try to do as much as we can to give back to the sport. So any way you can support us, all you got to do is like, follow, subscribe, whatever those things are. Shameless.
They're like, follow, and subscribe.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's what they are? There's nothing else? All right.
I don't know. You're like, whatever those things are. I'm like, well, you literally just said what they are.
You act like I know what I'm doing.
I know.
Everybody always thinks like, hey, you know what you got your stuff together. Yeah, if you only knew. All right. So, how do you feel about hype? Not hype men, just hype. Like hype about something, hype about a product, hype about. How do you feel about it?
Oh, I think it's fun. All the hype about things. And what's even more fun is when things are hyped up and then they fail.
You have this weird grin on your face when you said that.
Yeah.
Do you look forward to that?
Sometimes. Yeah. Well, no, because I was watching soccer, and tomorrow's the transfer deadline day for most major leagues in soccer. So big deal when all these people get
moved around
and bought and everything. So the big deal is big signing this year was Erling Haaland for Manchester City from Borussia Dortmund, and there's so much hype surrounding him and everything, but he's got 9 goals in 5 games, so he's doing awesome. Mm-hmm. Then there's other people who have signed for clubs that aren't doing so hot, so they always get trashed or talked about, pundits or so. It's always fun to have those conversations when it comes to players and things, or when trades happen and you're people just don't pan out and the hype's oh my god, they're so great, and then it's no, they're really not, or draft busts or stuff like that.
Like Sebastian Telfair, you remember him?
Yeah
And
then he got locked up.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't know he got locked up, but
they did that gun charges.
Yeah, they did that whole huge series on him when he was in high school and all that stuff, and then he ends up going to Celtics, right? Is that where he went to?
The Timberwolves, and then he ended up with the Celtics for a while, I believe. Yeah, he kind of bounced
absolute garbage.
Bounced around and flamed out. Yeah, huge high school prospect, and then just never.
Yeah, and that was the big choice. Do I play college or go straight to the pros? Play college, go straight to the pros. He's probably in a cell right now talking with his boy should have went to college.
Yep.
Should have went to college.
Oh, man. Yeah. I forgot if he played a year or not, but I'm pretty sure he jumped straight out of high school.
I think he did. I'm pretty sure he went straight to high school. So, because I think there was a rule you had to play, and then that was when they took the rule. I don't remember. I can't. I'm just.
It was right after LeBron, they introduced the rule where you had to play at least a year.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah. So right around 2003, 2004, right around that area.
So it was in that realm where he was. And and for you younger guys, he was an absolute phenom in high school. Just no one stopped him. Nobody. And he, big shining light, and got picked up immediately, I think straight out of high school, from what I remember. And he was one of the last people to do it, because that was during the times when they were having the discussion whether you had to go to college or not. And he went, and he just said, look, I can make all this money for mom and family and all that stuff. And then that was it.
Yeah.
That was about the last you heard of him after he went to the pros.
Pretty much.
So, but talented dude, just never panned out. So that's kind of what we're talking about, hype. So do you think Worlds gets too much hype?
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. I think nowadays USDGC is the tournament more people want to win than winning the Worlds.
I still think Worlds is a title to get.
It is.
But didn't because
even Katrina's I play better than a 2-time world champion. Right. Not lately.
Right.
But
anybody can say that. I
Right.
play better than a 2-time world champion too.
Right.
My record
Or-
just doesn't show it.
yeah,
I mean, you can say that. Like Katrina Allen, no, she does not.
No.
Because when you watch her at Sunset Hills duff like a 4.5-foot putt,
right.
that's not a world champion. You know, that's not world champion style. So
Right. Hey, C1X.
yeah.
Bum bum bum.
Exactly. So, you know, I mean, and yes, she has form of a champion. She's won 2 times. You can't
Yeah,
take that away
can't
from
take it
her.
away from her.
But so when I look at the worlds, the reason why I think it gets just a bit too much hype is because it's just a name. It's just a 5-round tournament or 9 or however many rounds they're going to put it at
Right.
in any given year. And I think if it had a pedigree at a course or at a set number of courses, I think we've talked about this before,
Yeah.
of where it has a rotation of courses instead of just who's the next big buyer that's going to pull it in.
Yeah.
I think it would have a bit more weight because you're competing at the same courses. You get to see, but it is also, there's no cumulative to this tournament. It's just another tournament.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
So what makes
Or
it a
hold
world?
it outside of the U.S.
Right. Well, there's bids for it,
Yeah.
you know, and that's the process too. That's the bidding process is why it's whoever has the most shiny object in the room. You know, that's why it was at Utah.
UC.
Yeah.
Stop spending your money on hookers. And then you can get it in Europe.
True. Sex worker.
Oh,
That
sorry.
is.
I know. Sorry.
You got to be more politically correct, my friend. Jeez. We just lost viewers because of that. If we had any viewers.
Yeah. We don't have viewers. Brings me to a good point, though.
Mm-hmm.
We could go on like Instagram Live or Facebook or something sometime.
We could.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could.
We could go through the Night Owls and then go through like Door Disc or something. And I think you only have an hour. So we'd have to like stop at one point, like restart it back up. But it's something we could
Think
toy
about
with.
it.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that was kind of the intention of this too, is that we could potentially start filming ourselves in all of our glory.
For disc golf purposes.
Yeah, purposes. Yes,
Disc golf porpoises?
maybe
Purposes.
purposes. So we could do that, and I like the idea. So with hype, let's get back to this world.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's anyways. That's what I don't know if we need to get back to it. I guess that's all I was thinking about with
Oh,
hype.
no. Yeah. I mean,
I think
it
it's
does-
overblown for no reason, just because it has a title on it.
Yeah, but you know what? It's at least with disc golf and some individual sports where it's people competing. It's like, you know, World Series, baseball, the World Series. Yes, you have people on teams that are probably from other, you know, other countries, but you're not competing against anybody else from any other country for the world title or
Yeah.
calling the basketball, you know, basketball. It's always world champions when you win the NBA championship. You know, America likes to blow the doors off or,
Oh, sure.
you know, whatever, for whatever reason, calling everybody world champions when we're playing sports sometimes that people don't even play outside of America.
They don't know outside of it.
Right,
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, I get that. And, you know, with disc golf, yeah, we do have a contingent of Scandinavian,
Yeah.
players. We have some European players.
Yeah.
You know,
Jackie
yeah, we have a few,
Yeah.
Japanese or Chinese players.
Yep.
Or he's Taiwanese, is that correct?
I think so.
Yeah, anyway,
Yeah,
so
anyways.
Asian
Yep.
in that area. So when we talk about it, yeah, so we call it worlds. That's fine.
Yeah.
Title, I could care less. I think it's just the fact that it's made to be the pinnacle of our sport, but there's no, like at this point, I think the Pro Tour finale may be more realistic as far as a point-based cumulative. You
Yeah.
have to earn your spot in worlds.
I think that's part of it. Like the earning your spot into it is cool. Like for the tour championship, and then the playoffs to get to that point, how you're seated and everything and working your way.
Well, and USDGC has something very similar as well. And yes, you do have to have a certain amount of points to qualify for the worlds, like, for Masters and AM Nationals and Pro Worlds. You have to have a certain number of PDGA points, but that all you got to do is compete.
Sure.
For the most part.
Well, it's along these lines too. It's like women's, the throw pink. It's all this hype, to qualify for throw pink, and it's just an A tier.
Right.
It's not a Pro Tour stop. It's not anything big. It's just a big A tier that you have to qualify for. It's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, and they run it. That's their next to USDGC. That's the women's portion of USDGC. I get why they do it, but yeah, like I said, I just think it's just overhyped.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Sure,
but it holds a lot of weight, and it is what it is. Like I can't argue with the fact that it is the pinnacle of our sport. It is what it is at this point.
But I think if you were to talk to Paul or Paige, like, well, I'm going for 6. Like that means something to that. It does. To beat. Yeah.
Well, and where do they weigh the GOAT? You talk about who's the GOAT, and you always talk about Climo. You talk about Lane. You talk about, Corver. You talk about, you go on and on.
Jenkins,
Jenkins, and what it's based on is their Worlds victories. With Paige, we're Worlds victories. That's what they base it on.
Yeah.
Because you actually look at wins and total money earned, and stats. Just go off of stats, true stats. Paul Macbeth stands above Climo.
Right.
But different age, you can make all these different things. So what they hold it to is Worlds at this point. How many times have you won Worlds?
Exactly.
No one's going to catch Climo, I don't think, ever.
Yeah, it's lofty.
That is lofty. It is lofty. So, but, all right. So, what'd you buy? Thrower, hanger, flipper?
I went to the shop and bought a Zenith, James Conrad Zenith. And it's a cool it's a good disc. I was out throwing it quite a bit yesterday.
It's an, 11.5.05?
Yeah, negative 0.052. And we were talking in the shop about it, and we're like, it seems like he was trying to kind of make a Wraith kind of clone.
I can see that.
So I did actually go out and throw it with I have Nathan Queen Glow Star Wraith, and they're really similar. Like the Wraith is a -1 for turn, so I did get a little more turn out of that Wraith than the Zenith. But I feel like after you beat the Zenith in, you're gonna get that turn, a little more. But it just straight flyer right out of the box, and I actually I hadn't thrown super hard for distance, and I got a hold of one pretty good for me at least. But yeah, so that's all I bought this week. But I could see it if I work with it, it could probably be pretty good workhorse.
Sure.
The bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels comfortable in the hand. I'm just trying to stay away from anything that is above that -1. I'm trying to get lower than that at this point because I just can't throw anything right now.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time throwing fast stuff. And
Throw
I think
your
it's
Valkyries.
Yeah, exactly. Just thinking, a Halo turn, I almost bought from the shop. It was one in Cadence pile, and I almost bought it.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
And I was thinking about buying it, but I was just like, I don't know anything about it. I've never thrown them before, and I was going into that tournament. And then what I did is when I got there, I picked up a Wave, threw it directly in my bag.
Yeah.
And it was a Neutron.
Okay.
Neutron Wave, I think. I don't know the plastics yet.
Fission's the base plastic.
No, Fission's the bubbly plastic.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's anyways, this was more like the star type plastic.
Yeah, Neutron. Yeah, Neutron.
Neutron, I think. Yep. Yeah, that sounds right. And then
that's what the Zenith is as well. Neutron.
Neutron. Okay. Yep. So I bought that, and then it was I threw it straight out of the bag. Never thrown it before, and I was like, this is a wide open hole. Why not? So
sure.
I just I can't really, unless I turn and burn and it gets rolled and it cut rolls into the trees. There's really nothing that can hurt me, so I just threw it, and it was just a beautiful slight turn, good finish, but finish straight and forward, and I loved it. And I immediately bought 2 more.
Nice, yeah.
I immediately bought 2 more, and I bought them in the the Electron plastic, which is Champ, the clear stuff, right?
Yeah, I think.
And then Plasma.
Okay, yeah.
So I bought those 3 plastics, and there is a difference in stability between the Neutron and then the Electron and Plasma. So the Electron and Plasma are more stable, which is good.
Yeah.
Because that Neutron was quite flippy for me.
Okay.
Not super flippy, but if I put it on hyzer, it stands up, it rolls over. And if I don't put enough hyzer on it, it will roll over completely.
Yeah, I bought one of the special edition ones when we had them in the shop a while ago.
The Fission, those are Fission,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, with the Fission Wave.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm interested in trying the Fission. That could be, it could be good. It could be a good like I need the disc to go right.
Yeah.
You know, I need it to kind of
And
finish
that
right.
fission comes in low. Well, not that you want it in lower weights, but it does
Right.
come in lower weights.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
that plastic.
And I've never thrown overmold stuff. I had an Insanity, but it's such a slow. That's a 9.
Yeah.
Like, so for me getting that up to speed, it's not an issue. But a higher speed driver from MVP or any of the overmold stuff, it does throw different.
It does.
It does. I don't know if I'm necessarily gaining distance or anything just because of the overmold.
Right.
But it throws different. Like, you have to put pop on it to get it to fly the way it should.
Yeah. Like when I bought a Fireball, which is it's a pretty overstable disc. It's like Firebirdish. It's 93.05. I don't remember, but it's around that. But it was a really lightweight plastic. I threw it and it dumped so hard. I was like, whoa, I thought it was going to be easy going with the lightweight plastic, but no, I was surprised.
Yeah. I'm a believer. You know, I've stayed away from MVP or overmold stuff for so long, except for the Gobi. Remember, we were trying to figure it out. Except for the Gobi, that was the only one I ever threw.
I dug up my other overmolds, the Gobi. I dug up my Bryce and
Zion.
Yeah, I brought them with me yesterday, but I didn't throw them. But they don't. It doesn't feel like they have the weight in the rim. It just still feels like they just put the overmold over it, but it still feels like all the weight is in the flight plate.
Right. Well, it's funny. You grab the same weight, wave compared to a Jet, the new Jet that came out.
Yeah, the Streamline. Yep.
The Streamline Jet, which is their non-overmold, it's a one piece.
Yep.
It feels heavier. Same exact weight. You grab the wave, the overmold.
Yeah.
It feels lighter.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest thing, like holding them side by side, and you're like, "What?" And then you go put them on the scale, same exact weight.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's neat. So if you're out there, try some MVP, try some overmold stuff. So, but those are all throwers. I threw them all this weekend at the tournament that I did absolutely mediocre at, and I'm happy with them. You know, I think
I'm happy with throwing these mediocre discs.
I didn't get to throw those a lot. Those I threw very well when I threw them.
All right.
I was actually really good off the tee. I struggled in the circle again, and then trees ate me alive.
Oh, that's a bummer.
know,
At
so-
Sandy Knoll?
No, actually, well, Sandy Knoll, I didn't play too bad at. I played like a 970 rated and then a 935 rated. Something, the one in Fredonia, I can't remember, Stony Creek.
Okay.
At Stony Creek, I hit every available tree that I could possibly hit, missed every line I could possibly hit, and I went in there like, this is awesome. I got Comets and Emacs. I'm all over this. Yeah, right. Like, it was horrible. Just horrible. It was like every time I'm like, okay, don't hit that tree. Shank, I'll hit that tree. Like, and I wasn't thinking to myself, don't hit that tree. I'm just like, all right, here's my line. This is what I'm going to do. And right to a tree.
Might as well have called you George of the Jungle.
Oh, it was
Watch out
bad.
for that tree.
It was so bad. And I took all these unnecessary OB strokes, like, for no reason. There's this creek that runs through it, of course, Stony Creek. And I would find it somehow. Like, there was one where the creek wasn't even in play. It's OB. It wasn't even in play from where I was throwing from. Nicked off a tree, splash. I'm like, come on.
Man.
Yeah, it was bad. It was like a 907 or 908 round. Like, it was bad. But I've been doing that, putting a couple good rounds together, bad rounds. So, yeah, so there we go. That's all I got. You got anything else?
No, I didn't. Nope.
Nope.
I thought.
Wiggy.
Yeah.
Remix.
No, I was thinking about something. I was like, did I buy something else? But no, I did not buy anything else. I was just thinking about buying something else.
Oh, right. Sounds good. I do that all the
A
time.
lot of thinking.
All right. So here's our preview. So now that we've got half the show over with already, so we are going to talk about Worlds, and it's full in swing. We're going to talk about some of the side events that have gone on, and then we'll talk about what's happening after day 2, because we are recording after day 2. We have...
Yeah, it's a weird spot to be in.
It is. It is strange. But
Yeah.
I think with us recording on... man, we should get together and record on Sunday.
Might be able to swing that.
Yeah. And then we can put a bonus episode on Monday.
How tired are you going to be working this weekend with
That's
Labor
true.
Day?
I forgot about that. Yeah, it's okay. I get off at 3. I'll take a nap.
Okay. All right. Cool. We'll see if we, see if we can swing that.
We close it by 3, so I'll be out of there by 4. I can take a nap before we record. And then we'll talk about the side events, like I said, after day 2. We already went through that. And then we will talk about the courses, whether they are worlds worthy. There's a lot of talk about that. And then hopefully we'll have a random question, potentially a listener bag analysis, and then we'll get to what our shop updates are. I've already talked about some of those as well. So here we go. Let's get into it. Worlds is in full swing. We are into the second round. And as of right now, we have Tristan Tanner in first, Aaron Gossage in second, and Calvin Heimberg and Paul Macbeth tied for fourth. If I'm correct. No, first and third, right?
Yep. Calvin and Paul are tied for third.
Yeah, Calvin and Paul tied for third, and then Tristan and Aaron tied for first. And here we go. We got Kristen Tatar in first, Ella Hansen right behind her, Missy Gannon in third, and Paige Pierce also tied in fourth. Excuse me. So that would be, fourth. So Paige Pierce snuck back up there because she wasn't
top 10.
She wasn't even top 10 after the first day. So she's back. She's a 4. She threw a 6 under today. And then Tristan Tanner, 13 under today.
Yeah, there's something weird. Yesterday, I was kind of paying attention just to UDisc because I wasn't able to watch except for a couple highlights here and there. And at the end of round 1, it had them on top. And it's like, it said minus 13. I was like, oh, crazy. Okay, at Jones Supreme. Mm-hmm. And then this morning when I looked, it like dropped him down and it said he was like, I don't know, scores kind of jumped kind of funky when I was looking on UDisc, and I jumped back to the previous day and it said he had a +1, but then all of a sudden I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense. And I jumped back to today's score and it said minus 13. I was like, what the heck is going on? So it's something screwy got messed up with UDisc at one point. But yeah, crazy. He's someone that is perfectly capable of playing this way. Like he has all the potential in the world, terrific forehand, but we just haven't seen it this season. He's been very inconsistent. I think
he's also been some injuries.
Yes, I was going to say he's had some shoulder stuff going on a little bit.
Yeah, and he wore entirely too tight of clothes as well, so that really hinders movement a lot.
Yeah, right.
So I played with, and a lot of times with scores, it's a little weird. So I played with Chris Heron today, this past weekend. So it's MP40. He's an older guy, but he's a very good player, a 980 plus or 980 rated player. So he started out in first after the first round. He started out in 14th out of 14 place.
Okay.
And he just had a horrible round. Don't know what it was. And he came all the way back into 4th place.
Whoa.
So, and he was actually in the running for the lead. There was like 3 guys that were really darn close.
Oh, dang.
And just so you know, the difference is I was in 4th after the first day, and I had a +3, and I think the winner was or the person that was in the lead is a -1. I'm just giving context to the story why I'm telling you this. And he was like 11 over. So he was way back.
Holy cow.
Yeah. So the second round, he shot like a 3 or 4 under, and that course tore some people apart. I shot a 10 over. And then the third day, I think he shot a 3 or 4 under as well. On the same course that he shot an 11 over.
Yeah.
He shot a 3 under.
Jeez.
And it came all the way back. So at the end, I was the one doing digital scorekeeping. And I was like, hey, you want me to just wait to submit this till we get to the clubhouse, until we get to the shop? And he was like, I was just going to ask you that because I want to put some pressure on him because, everybody's score watching at that point. Because I think we were 3rd card back.
Yeah.
And the 2 lead cards were behind, or the chase card and the lead card were right behind us, of course. And he was like, why don't you hold off and we'll just submit it so they can sweat it a little bit, because at that point he was tied for lead and he bogeyed the last hole.
Oh, man.
So I was like, good job. That's smart, to play with it. Like, there's nothing illegal. Like, we want to go confirm it because we hadn't confirmed it either or anything like that. So we just walked and it's probably about a 10-minute walk to not even 10-minute, maybe 2 or 3 minute walk to where where you get internet connection.
Sure.
And then we just went over the scores there and just walked off the course, went over the scores there. So it wasn't anything shady or anything, but I was like, that's not a bad idea if you're trying to play some mental games with some people.
Yeah, right.
They're like, why isn't the last hole? What did you get on 18? So, but it was a fun time. So that is why I bring up like maybe some of that stuff happens,
Yeah, right.
And
That makes
where they
sense.
kind of hold off some scores and things like that. Or if you're watching live in the last, I don't know if you've noticed this, but the last 3 holes, they won't actually do it until it's completely done on broadcast.
Oh, sure.
And they won't update it on UDisc until it's done on
because
broadcast.
it's weird because it had said what time he was teeing off, and it had his score, but it didn't say what hole he was or if he had finished or anything. It just kept that tee time. I was like, did he? It was just super weird.
Like, did he miss or what?
Like, I was like, yeah, what the heck's going on?
Yeah.
But there's some big jumps today, score wise. You know, compared to yesterday, there's a lot of movers and shakers. Ricky jumped up 45 spots.
Yeah, that's
Gavin
huge.
Berg jumped up 38. There's this Randon Landa. I don't know who he's.
Well, and they're playing country club today.
Country club.
So it's more wide open. It's the Bombers course.
Yep.
It's more forgiving.
He jumped 66 spots.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. But
Well, and Brodog's sitting at 25th, tied for 25th right now.
okay.
Eagle's like in 10th or something like that.
He is. Yeah, he's right at. I saw his name.
He's like
yeah, he
10th.
tied for 6th.
6th, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited. And big shout out Johnny McRae. Heart surgery, comes back, wins his very first tournament back. Now he's throwing aces at Worlds.
Yeah.
MPO.
That
Like,
was awesome.
come on.
Hole
Like
12 at Jones.
at Jones. Yeah, good for him. So all right, let's go over some of the side events now. Let's talk about the ladies. So Kristen
Yeah.
Tatar, obviously. I don't have any doubt. So
Dominated Jones.
Yeah.
Minus 10.
Yeah.
She was one of, I think, 5 people to land the island hole first day.
and Emporia, I think she put another 10 down, didn't she?
She was only minus 3 today.
Oh, so let some people catch up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's some people. Paige shot a minus 6. Misty shot a minus 5. Kat jumped big. Katrina Allen, I should say, jumped big. She jumped 23 spots with a 7 down. Lisa Fakis jumped 18 with a 6 down. So
Where did Jen Allen suit at that point? Because she was doing pretty good. She was 4th.
She shot a +1 today, so she
Okay.
dropped 4 spots. She was on lead card.
Yep.
And
Yep.
she ended up falling.
Okay. All right.
But still in the mix.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's fun to watch Ella Hansen. I mean, she's a bomber.
Yeah.
She can throw so far.
She can.
Yeah. And then obviously Missy Gannon. I mean, Missy Gannon is so smooth. Like her form is becoming something that is emulatable. You know,
Yeah,
emulatable.
that's right.
I think that's
Yep.
right. And she said that she was going out to work on her distance. She's starting to. I mean, she's always been known as the cannon,
Right, yeah.
She's always been able to throw
But-
far, but she hasn't been in that top tier of far. And I feel like she's sticking right there with them.
I think, yeah.
I mean, so yeah, I think she's doing great. So I would not be disappointed to see her win. So, and then the big moves by Paige. Paige moved up, not even in the top 10. Now she's tied for 4th. So
Yep.
good for her. And so let's talk about kind of the world side events. They're not real big news, but hey, let's talk about them. So
Right.
so if you don't know, they have a skill shot challenge, they have a long drive, they have a mini disc world champion, and they also have a putting world champion. And all those events have gone. They're finished. They're done.
Yep.
So this year, and they have a mixed doubles worlds.
Yep.
So the winner of mixed doubles was Macy Valadiaz and Calvin Heimberg as a team. And then Madison Walker for the skill shot challenge. Madison Walker and Lauren Lewis. No clue who that is.
Okay.
And then long drive was Ella Hansen. Sorry, my son. It was Ella Hansen. And Ella Hansen got it. First time Paige has never won or did not win the world's distance championship when she's competed.
Well, I was looking. I forgot where I saw it. I don't know if Paige actually competed. Her name was on the list, but I don't know if she.
Well, whether she did or she didn't.
yeah.
She didn't get it.
Yeah.
So Ella Hansen got it. So, and I think it was something like 560.
It was far.
Yeah, it was far. And decent wind.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't nothing to gawk about. And then Garrett Gerthy won the men's.
Yeah, I think he threw like 655, 652, somewhere around there. Like it was a bomb.
And to show you that Ella Hansen only threw like 80 feet shorter than him.
Right.
That's impressive.
That is.
Really impressive.
That's really awesome.
So, and then the mini disc world champion, FPO, is Sabre Peterson. No clue. And AB took down the world champions at mini disc world championship.
Did you ever see the video of AB throwing across? It was at the preserve. He took a mini and he threw across like one of the holes. I forgot what, maybe number 5. There's a pond. And he whipped a mini like over 300 feet, all the way, almost all. I think it fell just short of hitting the other side. But
wow,
yeah, water carry with a mini. Like, what?
I've never been able to throw them. I mean, I always throw them farther than I expect, but I've never tried to just open up on a mini.
Yeah.
Like I've opened up on junior discs.
Oh yeah,
like the junior sheriff. I think you can bomb those things. You can throw them so far. But like I can barely throw a full size disc 300 feet. Like I'm super happy to get it over. So yeah, maybe. Jeez. All right, and then putting world champions is Sarah Gilpin. Way to go, Sarah Gilpin.
That's awesome.
And then I don't Jacob Cernarad.
Maybe it's Jakob.
Maybe Jakob.
Maybe
it could be. Yeah. So and then as of right now, there are 2 aces. And Johnny McRae has the one on Supreme, hole 12. And then Tyler Wozniak has Emporia, hole 16 at the country club. The island.
That's cool.
Yeah, that is pretty awesome. So there you go. And distance for Johnny was 302 and then 320 for Tyler.
That hole.
Why is Tyler Wozniak so familiar, the name?
I don't know. As I say, that hole that Johnny aced, it's pretty uphill. I mean, it probably plays quite a bit more. It probably plays like 340.
It is,
somewhere around there.
And it was pure hyzer the entire way.
Yeah,
like
I think he said he threw a rive.
Okay, sounds right. I wish I had the arm to throw a rive.
Yeah,
because everybody likes them. You just can't throw them. So there you go. Those are all your kind of side events and side hustles that are going on. So we will. We'll try to get back on Sunday so you have another update Monday after Worlds. And then we can call each other names and say how bad we did and just talk about the results. And then talk about anything that comes up.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, let's do it. All right. So, all right, let's talk about the courses. Are they worlds worthy? There's a huge talk about worlds worthy courses in Emporia Country Club and Jones Supreme, whether or not they are worlds worthy.
So I think here's what I think happened. Being that DDO was here and they played the course, they didn't have as much time to play Jones Supreme. Get there and play it. They had almost a whole week.
Right.
Like they could just come play Jones. Like they had to wait for Country Club to go play that, but they could.
But even Country Club was open from Tuesday to Tuesday for practicing.
Yeah, it was. So that's a long time to get dialed in for a course for this.
And it's only 2 courses.
Yeah, only 2 courses.
Yeah.
I will say Country Club is, I like the back 9 a whole lot more than I like the front 9. I think the back 9, it's more interesting, but I think the whole difficulty on the back 9
has more teeth.
Or even starting at hole 9, the hole with the water out on the left-hand side and like tight OB with the cart path and everything. Yeah. The one that Donnie, we talked about
16.
All this. The 16, yeah, that hole. I just think from that point on, that course gets more difficult. There were some changes. There was some OB that widened a little bit on one of the holes through the woods. There's a par 4 that turned into, I think it was a downhill par. I forgot what hole it was. 15, 14. Changed from a par 4 to a par 5. So when I was watching the practice round with Eagle and German, was it Uliberry had a chance for an eagle. Like he threw a roller, and then his upshot was like just on top of this little hill, like behind the green, and he had an eagle chance. So like a very gettable birdie or eagle hole. Obviously, hole 16's hole 16.
Yeah, it's kind of an ace or die almost.
Yeah, right.
Like, yeah.
I think for as difficult as Jones Supreme was, people thought it was going to be, people just kind of figured it out.
Yeah.
Even, though they lengthened some of the holes and things when they originally put it in. And even
they made the hole 1 island. they put a backdrop on it, so or a kind of a little extension of the wall up,
Yeah, they did.
so you didn't skip off, hit the island and skip off.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I mean, there's just a couple changes. There's some tee changes at Country Club as well that I think played a little easier than that. But I think Country Club is just too open.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, it's one of those things where one course kind of it's a little more technical, but the other course is the bomber hole, so you're getting a little bit of both. But even Jones Supreme is still pretty open.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's park style golf.
I mean, it's
either way.
Kansas.
Yeah.
Like, it's not. They don't have mature forests
Right.
in windswept Kansas. I
True.
mean, so yeah, the conversation about whether courses are worlds worthy or not, in my mind, always boils down to viewability.
Yeah.
For the most part, I mean, like, sure, you could say that Ledgestone, all the courses at Ledgestone, probably play a tick better than, or in my humble opinion, play a tick better than those courses, I would say, and probably favored by the pros a little more,
Yeah.
and have more teeth, test the abilities a bit more, and they have the open, like you have the open of Emporia, you have the, of Eureka, and then you have the really tight technical of Black.
Right.
So, you kind of compare some of those and you would say, okay, that would be, but I think people would be pissed off because now you can't watch Worlds live. So they would never get a Worlds bid because of that reason.
Sure.
And you want to talk about some other ones. Yeah, sure. But I think it just all depends on, like, I guess, who the best player is that weekend, how they play. Like, as far as the courses go, I mean, sure, it's open golf style, but that's the only way you're getting the crowds. It's the only way you're going to be able to watch full lines and full flights of discs. And, you go on and on about the growth of the sport. You want more spectators. And, let's say up to, 2018 or 2019, that was all everybody talked about. And then the boom of 2020 happened, and now everybody's like, we need to go back to wooded courses. And, like, seriously? Like, we're going to regress now. So we fought to get these open courses, good cell phone coverage, all this stuff, so you can actually stream live.
Yep.
And then we get these. We get exactly what everybody was asking for, right? Vegas, people used to love it. I mean, everybody. And then Memorial, they got rid of it because it was too park style, too closed in. You couldn't, really, they weren't top quality things. And so they start kind of making all these changes, and now everybody's like, no, we should do the other thing. And what's happened is that'll probably go on for about 5 or 6 years. And then everybody will start going back to those older style courses. And then you'll have a group of people who are like, no, we should do the other thing.
Yeah.
And then we'll have these cycles. So that's why I kind of think, like USDGC does, I don't know whether they're going to be or not going to be worlds worthy courses, because I think they're testing all the skills of every one of the pros. I mean, they're hard courses. Like, they're playing average about 10 down right now for each of the courses for each round. Maybe they're a little soft, but great. I mean, hey, that's what people want to see. But you're playing a number. You're not playing a.
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah. Maybe as a showcase, and this being the biggest spectacle for now, maybe they just let's show people that people can score low. Right. Like,
Sure.
like the lower the score, the better, like that kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah. You think about it. Like, do you want to go to a football game and watch a 7-14 match, or football game?
Yeah. Right.
Or do you want to watch a 35-21? Of course you want to watch 35-21. Like, you don't want to see two defenses battling it out. You want to see the two offenses battling it out. And I think that's the same thing with, golf. You don't want to see somebody shoot 2 under. You want to see someone shoot 40 under. Maybe not 40. Let's be real. But when Tiger was in his heyday, you seeing him into the double digits. Like, you love seeing him in 19, 20. You're like, oh my goodness, this is crazy how, and it didn't matter if you were a golf fan or not. Like, that was so cool that he was so far under.
Yeah.
I remember watching, I don't remember what tournament it was, but it was a pretty big one. He won a jacket in it. And I remember watching
the Masters.
It was 21 or 22 under,
Sure.
Just everybody was like, this is phenomenal. Like, the closest guy was 13 under or something like that. So you think about it in that regard. I mean, I think it views better. And whether you're a disc golfer or not a disc golfer, and let's be real, Worlds is for the disc golfers.
Yeah.
It's not for anybody else.
True.
I think it'll capture some people, but do you want to see people making birdies and eagles and things like that? Because everybody says, yeah, that's so easy, they can do it. Go out there and do it. Like, it's not that easy, you know? So anyways, I'm going on and on. Like, I think the courses are fine. I don't have any issues with the courses. And I think you do have a good variation between the twos, but it's Kansas. Like, it's as wooded as it can be, and Omen-ish.
Yeah.
You know, for Kansas, that's probably a fairly wooded course too, Jones.
It could be.
Yeah. I mean, or country club. So, because I think about driving through there, and yeah, there are trees, but nothing really. Like, you talk about Peter Pan or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, they got trees, but it's still Kansas trees.
I feel like playing at Clover Cliff Ranch would be kind of exciting to see.
I've never seen that course.
It's really, there's a lot of elevation changes, and it's a lot of hard rock because it's this big, huge valley, and you go down, and there's a river going through it and stuff. Only thing is, there's a bunch of buffalo chips just everywhere because it's a working ranch.
Okay, did him and Taco go play around there for a little while? Yeah, I think I saw that. Yeah.
It's a cool course. It's awesome.
Yep.
And you know, you're out in the open for a while. You get back on the back nine, stupid fly, and there's wood. You know, you go in and there's a good amount of woods. Like, I would say 6 holes or something around there. But it's an interesting course. Right. I just don't know if it would feature photograph well or beyond. Right. But I wish the other thing too is, you know, they're flip-flopping courses, but anytime it's DDO, they always end up at Country Club last. I feel like, I don't know.
Yeah, because it's Jones Country Club, Jones Country Club, Country Club is how they're doing it.
Yeah, and you think for all the blood and sweat Eric put into Supreme that he would ask them or ask Doug to finish there. I don't know. You know, even though we saw yesterday's scores being pretty low.
Yeah, I don't think they have as iconic finishing those last 3 holes. Those holes are fantastic to finish on. Like, and they make some separations. They can create stories those last 3 holes. So I think that's what he's going for. Because you think of, you know, at Jones, like, maybe one of the 3 is like story worthy.
Sure.
You know, but outside of that, like, it's not going to really create this big story. Really, if you get up to 15 on Jones, I mean, I can't think there's really much danger after that, right? I mean, there's danger, of course, just from playing, but like not like Country Club, you know? So, but like you said, the back half of Country Club is pretty good. You know, not pretty good. It's phenomenal. Like, I would love to play it. One of these days I'll get down there to play it. But yeah, I don't know. Like, there's all this talk about world's worthy course. Like, I think instead of talking about world's worthy courses, let's figure out how to operate worlds so the hype means something. Yeah. Rather than stupid gnat. Yeah. Rather than just
stupid gnat.
There's this gnat flying around that's bugging us. Anyways, so gnats. We should really solve the problem of worlds and giving true hype to what it is. Yeah. In my humble opinion. Like, I think we should really focus on how to qualify people for worlds, and then also figure out maybe like a 3 to 4 course rotation for worlds, and those are the courses you go to, because then you can start establishing a history of play on those courses. And those courses can dedicate time, energy, and money to improvements in making the course fit the play. Yeah. You know, in 4 years, that's more than enough time to help the course, you know, graduate. So, you know, it's brought up a lot, Eagles Crossing.
Yeah, I was just going to bring that up.
The only couple times I've ever seen Eagle Crossing, absolutely, get it out there. Yeah. Like, there's decent amount of woods, water, open shots. You can still throw far. You still have to have touch and control with them. Like, let's get something like that on the World Series or World Circuit, you know?
When it was first brought up, I think he was hoping to put a bid in for next year. Okay. I thought he said the owner said 23 or 24. By that time, he was hoping to put a bid in for Worlds.
You have to have at least 2 courses for Worlds, right?
I don't know. I'm not positive.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm sure you have to be able to host the size of the Worlds, which is, you know, it's fairly large. I think they have 150 MPO, and then I think there's 40 or 50 FPO.
Right.
So, I mean, that's 200 plus players.
It is.
You got to host
And the women are,
course.
man, the women are getting out super early.
Yeah. Well, they got a lot of players that got to get out because
Yeah.
they're shadowing, not shadowing. They're playing the same course.
Yep.
The male and the female same.
Yeah.
FPO and MPO are playing the same course. So,
Yeah,
that's
because
good.
logistically, to film, to go across town to Jones and then get over to Country Club to film, like you'd have to have 2 separate crews, or
Yeah.
like that's just a nightmare.
exactly. I think they're doing it right. And then this controversy about why are they ending on Saturday? Like no major should ever end on Saturday. It should always be on Sunday. And then you get the guff about why don't you leave time just in case there's rain delays when
Right.
those things happen.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why they did it. I mean, I would assume
Sure.
business pride, like you get 5 days, you still get the whole time, you still get all of your rounds in, you can get the final, and then Sunday is a just in case.
Yeah.
Like I bet you between those 2 courses, or especially with the country club, they say, hey, if it rains, something happens, like we get a delay and we have to cancel a round, this is our makeup day.
Yeah, I could see that.
And why would you not want to have that fail safe in there?
Yep.
Like, because nobody's going to want to stay there Monday. Well, maybe for Worlds they will, but for most tournaments they won't.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. You have anything else to talk about Worlds?
No.
Because we'll talk Sunday too.
Yeah. Not anything now.
All right.
But I picked Calvin the other day as my number 1. And
You did?
I think I did.
Mm-hmm.
Or
I think so.
he won.
No, you didn't. You didn't.
Oh, no,
Calvin.
Ricky.
You picked Ricky, Calvin, McMahon, and I picked
Yeah.
Macbeth, Simon, and Brody. By the way, where's Simon? I didn't even see his name when I went down the list.
I don't know.
I should have went through and looked.
I'm not sure.
Well, hopefully he does well.
Hopefully.
And hopefully the hickey is holding strong on his forehead.
It's a big old bullseye.
Yeah, there's a lot of golf left. There's still
There
3
is.
rounds from when we're talking. So, and by Friday when you hear this, there'll be Friday's round plus Saturday. So there'll be
Yep.
2 more rounds left still. So it'll be.
And there's a cut.
There is, yes, correct.
Yep.
Just for final. No, there's a semi and then a final.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so I'm excited. So it looks like there's a lot of people, and all the people on my list are actually pretty darn close to. Well, I don't know about Simon, but I know Macbeth and Brody are both in the cut as of right now. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. All right. Do you want to go to listener bag or random question? We are almost an hour in.
Holy balls.
We want to hold the bag analysis for next time, or do you want to go in it, get it?
Bag analysis might go a little long.
Okay.
We can try it. Or for Monday. We've done that before too.
Yeah, let's do this for Monday.
Okay, we'll
All
do
right.
that.
So bag analysis will go for Monday, and then whose bag is it? It was
Cam, I'm hoping I'm saying it Muir, M-U-I-R.
okay.
Muir.
Mirror.
Yeah.
and
Sorry.
what is it?
I'm really not making fun of your last name. It's just
Yeah, you are. It's okay. He'll be okay with it too. Come on. His Instagram handle was what? You think it was like
I don't Cheesy Carolina.
it is, yeah, cheesy Carolina disc golfer or something like that?
Something like that.
Okay. If he's not okay with us mooing at his name, or would that be braying? I think it was more braying than mooing, right?
Yeah.
So, all right. So Jordan has a random question for us. Here we go.
Clutch.
This is pretty good.
Okay, cool.
If Vin Diesel wanted a pro disc golfer in his next Fast and the Furious movie for a minor role, who do you think would fit the bill?
Oh.
So when we talk about minor role, there's always those random racers that are kind of,
Yeah.
like Vin Diesel adjacent. Who would it be? I know exactly who I'm going to pick.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's no question in my mind. Drew Gibson.
Oh, that's such a good one.
Absolutely. He fits it. Like, he doesn't have to change his role at all. Like, he might have to get a better car, but
Yeah.
outside of that, like,
That's really good.
just Drew be Drew, man.
Yeah.
Like, he'll fit super well in there. Oh, by the way, congratulations, Jordan Zacek. You have a new puppy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got Olive.
Yep.
It looks exactly like the dog Benji almost.
Yeah, I saw her at the shop the other day.
Yeah. Pretty cool dog. I haven't met her yet.
She was really nice.
Cool.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised she didn't escape out the front door, but she seemed kind of not terrified. That's not the right word.
It was a shelter dog.
Cautious. Yeah.
Yeah, like a
you
year
don't-
old or so. Yeah. Yeah.
She looked a little older. I was surprised because she's got some gray.
Yeah.
A little bit. I was like, how old is this dog? Jordan's like, they're not really sure, but she's about a year and a half. I was like, huh, okay.
Hey, I had gray when I was like in my 20s. So
Yeah.
and my hairline started disappearing like in my early 30s. So now I have a shiny spot on the back of my head.
I'm getting one too.
It's so sad. You know, it's not. That's one of those things that never bother me. The only time it does, my mom. So my mom lives with us. She'll walk by and just slap the back of my head, like right on the bald spot.
Yeah.
It's the only time I think about it. And I'm just like, man, I am gonna kick you right in the shins. Like, I would never do that to my mom, but
Yeah,
I tell her I will.
One of the girls the other day mentioned it. I was like, I totally forgot about it. And I'm like, God, now I'm self-conscious about it.
Exactly. Now the hats come out.
Yeah. And I'm like, it's probably because I was wearing hats at this.
Exactly.
But that was just like a super, I don't know if it's a superstition or not, but my friend's dad always used to say that. He's like, you know, if you wear hats, your hair's not going to grow out.
You know, that could be true, but every man in my life, as far as genetically in my life, looks like I do. So, you know, they have receding hairlines, widow peak, a little bald spot in the back of their head. Except for my dad. My dad had a full head of hair until the day he died. Like,
That's crazy.
Yeah, but he was the anomaly out of them. So there you go. So I think Drew Gibson.
Okay. I was gonna say if there's ever a scene where like Vin Diesel and somebody have to like take their shirt off or something, Ezra. They're like just like broing up and like pumping iron or something, and like
I could see that. Yeah, there's always kind of those like mildly homosexual moments in those movies. And that is probably one of those moments. Is that off color? Should I not said that?
it's a fine. I think we're okay. We're not sponsored by anybody, so whatever.
I'm not worried about it. Yeah, I just don't want to offend anybody. But
No.
I guess I can say a lot of stuff. I probably already said a lot of stuff that. But anyway, so yeah, I like that. I like Ezra. The only other person that I thought of, honestly, and yeah, I think it's just because of his boisterous personality, is Brody. Brody would be that guy that would just like be off in the corner, and then he'd get like punched straight to the ground. One of those, one of those guys like in a bar, like BSing and like, and then he would just go straight
Just
down.
talking smack and
Yeah, exactly.
right.
Yeah, be kind of like who was the guy in the second one, the one that Vin Diesel wasn't in? He was always talking crap, and he got punched in the nose and just like never talked. You never saw him again after it.
I know who you're talking.
I just watched it. I was laying in the motel room because there was no MTV in my motel room when I was down there.
You're lucky.
I always watch ridiculousness,
Or
like always when I'm there, and
Yeah.
it wasn't there, so I had to watch Fast and Furious, and it would play
Okay.
for it, and Meet the Fockers too.
Okay.
So, and I love it when Ben Stiller says, "I'm a good Fokker." Of course you are. All right, so there you go. That is it. So we talk Ezra Aderhold and Drew Gibson. And Drew Gibson is just self-explanatory. I don't need to say any more about Drew Gibson.
I feel like he could almost play the bad guy in that movie, like one of those movies, like the bad guy street racer.
I think he's too small. Like
Drew is?
He looks so cute, compared to
Yeah.
all those guys.
Like, but he's got like just tatted like legs. Like I feel like
Yeah.
he's got that persona. But he'd be like, "Hey guys, what about me?"
Like Mike Tyson almost.
Yeah.
Hey.
Only Mike Tyson will knock a dude out.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. It's like Smokey.
that's ridiculous.
All right, so UDisc has a new category when it talks about.
Oh boy, sound drop out.
That was my phone hitting the table. So they have a new category when you talk about win percentages up on the top.
Oh,
so
I
there's
see
the
that. It
scores, the
says
stats.
new.
There's the course stats, and then there's new, which is win percentages, which is pretty friggin' awesome. And it gives a probability of who will win based on their play and their past results.
Oh, that's cool.
It is really neat. So go check it out. It's pretty darn cool. And for some reason, it's not working.
It's awesome too because you can pick. So you can, if you scroll down, there's a chart, and then you scroll down, and it's got players. And if you click on the player, it'll
There it
bring
is.
up like the graph and how low or high their percentage is. So you could conceivably pick on like every player. Right now, Kristen's got the top win percentage and the best chance to finish top 5.
Yep.
So she's really high, and then after that, it falls down.
Yep.
But that's really cool.
So it shows the win percentage probability of Kristen Starr is 77%. So her line on this bar graph or line graph is like stands alone at the very top.
Yeah.
Everybody else's is way the heck down at the bottom. So the
That's
closest
crazy.
person next to her is Paige Pierce for a win probability, and it's 9%. So I'm excited to see how this changes. I'm going to
Right.
continue to watch it, but go in there, check it out, add people, do all that stuff. But man, it is stellar. It is such a good thing. Yeah, and you can pick every
Sure.
one of them. So you can do, you can do the top 3, you can do top 5, you can do top 10.
You can do up to, it says select up to 6 to compare. So you can only use, but yeah, it's cool. And then you scroll along, it says it has win percentage, and then you can go top 3, top 5, top 10. Yeah,
Yep.
like you said. And that's really cool.
Yeah. So I think there's some really, really neat. This is fantastic to look at. So
It would have been cool. This is awesome to see it now, but to see it before, like where everybody
Right.
started as like, okay, who's the favorite, like that way, like if they had that before the event started, and then see it change,
Right,
as
right.
it goes.
before it was tainted. Like, that is a weird word.
Tainted.
Tainted.
It's
Because,
almost like moist.
well, yeah. And tainted not only stands for like you have sullied something,
Yeah.
or it's like, but it's also like an area of your body.
Right.
Should I go any further?
Nope.
Okay.
I know what you're, if you're a guy, you know what you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Well, it's also, it could be a woman too.
Sure. I guess.
If you have a genital in the front and a anus in the back, the region between those two is a taint, whether you're a boy, girl, or however you identify, correct?
Okay. All right. Sure.
No, it's a yes or a no question, JP.
Okay.
All right. So here are the shop updates. So we had, wow,
Ooh, sorry.
he's done with this episode right
No,
now.
no,
He's gone.
That's my fault.
So, shop updates, Aces Fly Dice. So we have some die discs in. We're going to get them up on the site. I think we're going to have a separate category for it, and they're in. So there's some like eras, inertias, relays, and escapes, and maybe evaders. We got 10 of them. They look pretty good. There's a couple that they're just, the color combinations weren't fantastic because they're like green and kind of muted.
I kind of saw a couple of them because Tuesday I stopped in too. And Cam's like, oh, these are the die discs. And I was like, oh, okay. So I just kind of looked through a couple of them.
Yeah. And then, I don't think they look bad. I think they look good. It's just the color combinations. The bright ones are fantastic. The more dull ones, it's not my style.
Sure.
But I know there's people out there that like them. And there's cell dies, and there's a couple others that are like, and I think they're all basically glue bed dies, but they look good. So we got them in, and we're going to have them up on the site. And I think we have them displayed in there. I haven't been in there since we put them on the site. So, and then MVP's restock is in and on the site, ready to go. Legacy should be in and should be on the site soon. So I'm assuming by this weekend it'll be on the site. Lone Star custom stamp. We are working on the stamp right now because Lone Star does not do the stamps in house. Well, they can, but it's pretty darn expensive as of right now.
Really?
Yep. So they're working on it. They're going to try to get something together, but it's best if we send them the stamp, they said. So I figure we're going to work on the stamp.
Okay.
So we're currently working on the stamp. So right now we're going to do the silhouette of the peninsula and then Harvey in some way, shape, or form, which is our owl.
Yeah.
And then DD order officially on its way finally. So all the first run hope and we didn't have any of those.
Glory.
And I don't know why. I think
Yeah.
we must have fell through the cracks during Worlds, but I called them up and I was like, hey, we got 2 orders because we have 6 baskets coming too. And I was like, we have 2 orders that I haven't been charged for yet. And they're like, oh. So, yep, there. And then the MVP one was another one. I was kind of doing some bookkeeping and I noticed, I was like, you sent me this paid and it's not paid. And somehow they had a personal credit card of mine logged in with those. And as you know, the shop used to just operate off of me because it was the club.
Right.
And so they still had my personal credit card from when it was the club's account.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, no problem this time. Like, we'll get it paid back. But just so you know, and I had them pull the card off. But yeah, it was kind of funny. I called them. I was like, I didn't pay for this. And they're like, yeah, you did. We wouldn't have sent it. And I was like, yeah, but it's not on our credit card. So you might have put it on someone else's. And they were like, yeah, we put it on this. I was like, oh, that's mine. All right. Sounds good.
You're like, well, I'm glad they're paid for. But
Exactly. So it wasn't their fault.
Yeah.
It was just something I didn't. I didn't double check the credit card number, because they just use the card on file. So
Yep.
I didn't double check it, and it was what it was. And now I gotta pay myself back.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
but yeah, that's that. And then outside of that, we have been having a conversation. And I think I have gotten JP to potentially give us a date of when he's going to drop the OnlyFans for us. They can't see your smile.
Did we say a date?
No, I said, but potentially I think I've talked you into this.
This could be happening, yes.
Yeah, see? So
Yeah.
the OnlyFans is going to come. Wait, no.
Oh boy.
All right. I don't know. Keep us apart. Peace out.